Sí.
Jasho. Kiswahili ni ngumu. Mimi sijasoma hata
Simkanyagie mwenzako.
Dumu kwenye kazi.
Next Hadzabe story. Little Tuya sat quietly beside the fire, holding a small stick and tracing circles in the ash. The grandmother's words still echoed in her mind. The land speaks. You must learn to listen. The night was calm, but Tuya felt something different in the air. Grandmother, she asked softly, how do we know when danger is near? The old woman looked at her with calm eyes. You do not always see danger first, she replied. Sometimes you hear it or feel it. She pointed toward the trees. Listen. The children became silent. At first they heard nothing. Then slowly, the usual night sounds changed. The insects grew quiet. The birds stopped calling. Tuya's heart began to beat faster. Do you feel it? The grandmother asked. Tuya nodded. Yes, it feels empty. The grandmother nodded. That emptiness is a warning. From the distance, a branch snapped. All the children turned their heads at once. The grandmother did not move quickly. She simply stood up and said calmly, "Stay close. Do not run. Do not panic." The fire was strengthened, the flames rising higher. The light pushed back the darkness. Tuya stayed close to the others, remembering the lesson. Not strength, not speed, awareness. The sounds of the night slowly returned again. Crickets, wind, distant movement. The danger, whatever it was, passed by unseen. Tuya looked up at her grandmother. "I understand now," she whispered. The grandmother smiled. "You are learning." And in that moment, Tuya realized something important. In the wild, survival was not only about hunting or running. It was about listening, staying together, and respecting the balance of nature. Next story. Little Tuya and the morning tracks. Before the sun rose, little Tuya woke up to the soft movement of the camp. The fire was still warm, and the air carried a cool morning breeze. She noticed her grandmother already awake, looking at the ground near the edge of the camp. "Grandmother," Tuya asked, rubbing her eyes, "Why do you wake up so early?" The old woman pointed to the ground. leaves messages while we sleep. Tui walked closer and looked down. In the soft soil, there were fresh tracks, clear and deep. Are these animal tracks? She asked. The grandmother nodded slowly. Yes, and they tell a story. Tui knelt down, studying them carefully. Which animal made them? The grandmother crouched beside her. Look at the shape, the size, the distance between them. Tui followed the marks with her fingers. They are large and heavy, walking close to her camp. The grandmother's voice became serious. Very good. And what does that mean? Tui thought for a moment. It means something strong passed by here while we were sleeping. The grandmother nodded again. Exactly, not all danger comes loudly, some pass quietly. Tui looked around nervously. Is it still here? The grandmother smiled gently. We do not know, but we prepare, we observe, and stay together. She stood up and called the others. Look at the ground before you step, learn what walks around you. The land will guide you if you pay attention. The children gathered, studying the tracks, learning how to read the silent language of the earth. Tui felt something new inside her. Not fear, but awareness. She understood now. In their world, survival was not just about strength or speed. It was about noticing the small signs others might miss and respecting the unseen stories written all around them in the wild. In a quiet clearing beneath the wide African sky, an old Hadzabe grandmother sat beside a small fire. Her grandchildren gathered close. The night was calm, and the sounds of nature, crickets, distant birds, and rustling leaves filled the air. The grandmother's voice was gentle, but serious. "My children," she began, "I am no longer as strong as I once was. My legs are slow, and my eyes do not see as far. Soon, you must learn to watch over yourselves and each other." The children leaned closer, sensing the weight of her words. "There is something you must never forget," she continued. "Long ago, before you were born, our land was the same as it is now. Beautiful, full of life, full of food, but it was also dangerous." She paused, letting the fire crackle. "There was a lion, a great one. We called him Leon. He was clever, patient, and strong. He did not fear people like other animals do." The youngest child whispered, "What did he do, grandmother?" The grandmother's eyes reflected the firelight. "Leon took my father. Then, seasons later, he took my mother. And even my grandfather, who was the strongest hunter of our people. Leon took him too." The children gasped softly, holding on to each other. "That is why I tell you this," she said firmly. "Nature is beautiful. It gives us water, food, and life, but it does not belong to us. We are part of it, and we must respect it." She looked at each child one by one. "When you walk in the bush, walk together. When you hear silence where there should be sound, be alert. When you see tracks, understand their story, and never think you are stronger than the wild." The fire flickered lower. "But most important," she said, her voice softening again, "take care of each other." The fire was small that morning, just enough to warm the hands, not to chase away the light of the rising sun. Little Tuya Tui sat close to it, carefully turning a piece of food over the glowing coals. Her face was calm, focused, her small hands moving with care as she copied what she had seen her grandmother do many times before. Nearby, a quiet animal sat watching, a panda. It chewed slowly, peacefully, as if it had always belonged there beside her. Tuya Tui smiled softly. "You like this?" she asked in a whisper, holding up a small piece. The panda blinked and continued eating. Behind her, the grandmother watched in silence for a moment before speaking. "You are learning," she said. Tuya Tui turned slightly, her eyes bright. "I want to be strong like you." The old woman shook her head gently. "Strength is not only in the hands." She stepped closer and sat beside her. "It is in how you see, how you listen, how you care." The fire crackled softly. For a while, there was only the sound of chewing fire and morning birds. Then Tuya Tui spoke again. "Grandmother, is the lion still out there?" The question hung in the air. The panda paused, then continued eating. The grandmother looked toward the trees, her expression calm but distant. "Yes," she said quietly. "The wild does not forget itself." Tuya Tui lowered her gaze to the fire. "I am not afraid," she said, though her voice was small. The grandmother placed a hand gently on her shoulder. "Fear is not your enemy," she replied. "It is a voice. You must learn when to listen to it." The breeze shifted. For a moment, the birds stopped singing. Tuya Tui noticed. Her hands froze, the panda stopped chewing. The forest grew still. The grandmother did not move quickly. She simply leaned closer and spoke in a low voice. "What do you feel?" Tuya Tui swallowed. "It's quiet." The grandmother nodded. "That quiet is not empty. It is a message." Tuya Tui slowly stood, staying close. The fire popped, sending a small spark into the air. Then, from somewhere beyond the trees, a faint movement. Not loud, not fast, but there, watching, waiting. Tui's heart beat faster, but she remembered. Do not run, do not panic. Stay together. The grandmother gently added more wood to the fire. The flames grew stronger, pushing light outward. The panda shifted closer to Tui. Minutes passed. Then slowly, the birds began to sing again. The tension faded. The unseen presence moved away. The grandmother exhaled softly. You see now, she said. Tui nodded. Yes, the land speaks. The old woman smiled. And today, you listened. Tui looked at the fire, then at the forest, then at the small companion beside her. In that quiet moment, she understood something deeper. Even in peaceful, beautiful moments, the wild is always alive. And survival is not about being fearless. It is about being aware, staying together, and respecting every living thing around you. The fire burns softly in the pale light of morning, its warmth gentle against the cool air. Little Tui sat close, her small hands carefully turning the food over the coals, just as her grandmother had taught her. Her movements were slow, careful, trying to be perfect. Nearby, the panda sat quietly, chewing, its soft eyes watching her every move. It felt like a peaceful moment. Too peaceful. Tui smiled faintly. I'm doing it right, aren't I? She whispered, more to herself than anyone else.
Let me cut ya. Let me cut ya.
Oh.
Look go back. Got you up and eat. Coach on it. Habits each have done eat. Look at that. Ninaida tashi. Dicha ichidi. Hey. Kan demo ako na dyan o ba? Kukuha mini. Hamana pa kuibi ina takwe. Ai kaban. Beep. Beep. Itu kata. Apa be? Kata kata. Kwa ajene no imai kana bamia pa anak. Bamia mo kwa kata mo. Tago ko na dalang ka. Pipi ka o. Kwa isa boku ichiko. Ausa kuisi ani one munyoda ni. Munyo chake munyoda si ka activia. Munyoda tupika.
Kama useme gweke maa. Olago. Ini pilih-pilih orang. Sucat su kubi sucat. Qua bên cà phê này thủ. Wow. Cho ăn mẫu.
Look what the Hadzabe hunter hunts for New Year food, a real-life jungle story. As the world prepares to welcome a new year with fireworks, cities, celebrations, and modern traditions, deep in the African wilderness, the Hadzabe people prepare in their own powerful and beautiful way through courage, unity, and the ancient art of survival. Before sunrise, the Hadzabe hunter steps into the silent jungle with his bow and arrows, carrying not only tradition, but responsibility. Every step he takes is guided by skills taught by elders, knowledge passed down for generations, and deep respect for nature. This isn't just hunting for food. It's love for family. It's protection for the tribe. It's culture, survival, and honor. The journey is not easy. The jungle is unpredictable. The terrain is harsh. But with patience, strength, and determination, the hunter continues. Hours pass, tracking footsteps, reading nature, listening to the wind, watching every movement. Then finally success. The hunter returns proudly